In the FX markets today, I want to focus on the British pound. It's getting a lot of attention this week, and rightly so, as we continue to see the price action post-election. And with the British pound today, we saw it down once again today, realizing further selling pressure, down about 0.5% versus the dollar, and we saw it settling right around the 1.3058 level. Now, it is interesting that when you look at the British pound, we did see it actually as low as 130.026, so that's the low end of the range really for the last month. And again, we're continuing to see the British pound realizing some price adjustments here with some of the euphoria going into the election starting to wear off here. And I think when you look at the data points that came out overnight, it's important to point those out, as we did see them impact the British pound. And those 2 points were, first of all, the Bank of England rate decision, which they basically stood pat this time around. The market had expected that, but they did, at least for this time, hold on interest rates. Now, next year, I think the jury's still out on if they might have to cut, because the second data point that came out this morning was the retail sales numbers, and those were very weak. We continue to see the retail sales numbers in the UK trending lower and certainly not meeting lowered expectations this morning. So again, showing some of the impact there that the Brexit situation is continuing to have on the consumer and retail sales. Looking at some of the trends in place today, I think, as I mentioned, we saw further downside to the British pound today. We see it now taking out basically the entire move going into the election. We're settling now back down into the top end of the range that the market had traded in prior to those that run up into the election. And when you look at the price action today, when we got down on the lows of the day, that actually was basically the same level that we saw on October 31st when you look back at the pattern or the trends in place. So I think it's important to point out now we're getting down to this 1.30 level where you are going to find at least some temporary support, because that's the top end of the range when you look at the price action in October and November. But when you look at overall the continuing themes in the marketplace, the driving factors, we are seeing the British pound now certainly selling off further, particularly relative to the dollar, and today to the euro, as well as the Japanese yen.